Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, freaks and geeks, worms and germs, and welcome to the Cocktail Hour. I know, we're a week late this week. Real life problems got in the way, so I had to put it off for another week. But we're here. And with me today is my special guest co host, the girl who's never seen a ghost, who burns the oven roast, who doesn't like butter on her toast, Miss Robin Dubois. What's going on?
Nothing much on this windy Sunday evening.
I know. I cleaned up all the leaves this morning. And when I went back outside, yard's full of leaves again. Like the yard's
Kind of,
full of leaves
yeah.
again. Uh,
Yep, that's
but it is what
pointless.
it is. And it's cold again. Fall is back.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
Hmm.
Actually, it was like super duper nice. Last week, like in
Yeah.
the 70s, I was sweating
Yeah, I know.
and I
I
was like
overdressed when
triple
I went
layered,
outside. I was like, oh shit. It's actually hot out here.
right? It's like the weather was psyching you out. Like, oh, nope, oh, it's spring, oh, it's fall, oh, hint of winter. We got a hint of winter this
Into
week
winter.
too. Mm-hmm.
Do anything interesting this week?
A lot of interesting, but then it goes by so crazy fast. Like, man, technically it's the beginning of the week, but so technically last week was anything interesting?
Okay, fine. Did you do anything interesting last week?
Not at all.
All that for not at all.
I went bowling today,
Oh. Where'd you go bowling at?
Baldwin Bowl, and it was interesting. Literally, while you're bowling, so it's dark already, and they have strobe lights. They put on a fog machine. Literally, I'm like, what's the point of this? So literally, as you're about to bowl, fog just gust out, so you can't even see the pins. So it's just like a guessing game. And then literally, as I'm about to bowl again, strobe lights come on, like bright disco ball. I'm like, I'm blinded. So of course, gutter ball. Like,
Like when when you started saying that, I was thinking of roller skating.
right,
And then all of a
perfect
sudden, I'm like, wait a
example.
minute, she didn't say roller skating, she said bowling. Why the hell do they have strobe lights and fog machines?
I I'm the scene, and then they have like every two lanes they had like plastic lining and like a wooden bar holding it up. I'm like, this is
Yeah, because it's a makeshift COVID
yeah,
preventer. How many people were in
yeah.
there? Was there a lot of people?
Actually, no, not before 6 because that bowling alley after 6 p.m. you have to be 21 or older to get in, and it's like a club scene. Yeah,
Oh, that would
it's
be why they have fog machine and strobe lights.
yeah. You know what? That does actually make a lot of sense. And you have to pay an entrance fee too. That would make a lot of sense.
That's an interesting idea, though, a bowling club.
Mm.
I might want to
That
go.
that's true. And surprisingly, their wings were pretty good, and their drinks were pretty good. It had like it looks like a witch's potion. Like they had dry ice. It was like a bowl, like a fish bowl, like a cauldron of like
Okay,
bubbling.
now I want to go to this place.
Pretty
This
cool.
intrigued me. I want to go now.
And like at each lane, they have like these leather couches that are like definitely in someone's comfy basement type setting.
This kind of sounds like this place I used to go to for coffee called the Witch's Brew.
I love the witch's brew.
Everybody loves
I
the Witch's Brew.
Oh my gosh, before it was like trend setting, all the high school kids wanted to go after school. There used to be not a line, but now you gotta do reservations and whatnot. Like,
Wow, I haven't been there in years. Wow, you got to do
still cash
reservations
only. Yeah, you have to have reservations. Two and a half hour wait time sometimes.
for a coffee shop. That's insane.
Right. They're
Yeah,
still vegan too.
yeah, I don't want their coffee that bad. I'll go to Starbucks. I
You're
mean, it was
better
good
off.
coffee. They had good flavor, but good flavors. But yeah, not that much. Just for
Telling
coffee.
you, it's like a hipster thing now.
Oh man, I was thinking about have another farm story. You're a driver. You're a driver.
Somewhat, I guess, right?
What does a line of orange cones mean?
No passy, no pass.
Thank you.
Or I'm holding this parking spot for myself later on.
I've seen that too.
My neighbor does that. He comes outside every single morning, afternoon, night puts his cone outside. Don't park here. Yeah.
So this has happened recently at the farm before the season ended. We put up a line of okay, so we park in a certain area for only a certain amount of time because the hayride comes through that area and there's no one back there to make sure the cars are parked with enough space for the hayride to get by. So we were short because we had to go up to the front and park cars. So we put up a line of cones so people know to just not to go that way and make a left turn. There was two cones there. So I said, you know what? Let me put three just in case because people are stupid. I'm walking in front of this car who's looking for parking. He watches me put the cones down. I move the two cones to the right and left and then put the third cone in the middle. He watches me do this. Turns to the left, which is the direction the cones are pointing people to go. Proceeds to drive around the cones and go up the area you're not supposed to go. So then I have to go chase him down and tell him he can't be back here. He's asking me why. We're not parking back here anymore, but I'm only going to be a second. I don't care if you're going to be a millisecond. You cannot park back here. Take your ass back over to the front.
The cones just weren't,
I don't
weren't a thing for him.
understand. I don't understand why he watched me put the cones down and then proceeded to drive around. What did he think I was putting the cones down for?
And then he drove around as if he was saving you from like your labor of love. Like, oh,
I don't,
he's working so hard to put these cones down. Let me drive around these big orange cones.
so I don't knock him over. Like, what? Oh, people are just so stupid sometimes. And then this other guy, he's talking to me. He's like, "Oh, but we don't know." I'm like, "How do you not know? There are yellow,
Cone.
orange cones in the road. It's in your driver's manual. It tells you you do. That means do not pass."
Maybe they got their license in Georgia or something.
And then the guy
Or
goes,
Florida.
"But sometimes we're stupid." I'm like, "Yes, y'all are stupid."
Nope, that's unacceptable. Especially a New York driver, unacceptable.
Oh, I got so many stories like that. I think I'm gonna tell a story every week about the farm. Just go. I got 15 years of story. Actually, I think I have 20 years of story. Yeah, I have 20 years of stories from that place. That place is insane.
I actually was thinking about you because a customer of mine said that her daughter was getting married, I think, either at that farm or somewhere else, the options. And I thought about
Wow.
you this week.
When was getting married or got married?
Getting married, and
Oh, okay.
she's choosing between that farm
We had
or
like
somewhere
cause
else.
we had like I think two weddings this, this past season.
And I never thought about that. I'm like, huh, wedding on a farm. That's actually perfect, and I never thought about that.
I don't do it in the fall. It's it's cold outside.
I
Those
think picture wise, they probably like that with the falling leaves and whatnot
yeah,
and
no,
all that.
those heater lights don't do shit. That bride was
That's
cold as
true.
hell.
That would actually be really nice in the summertime or the spring. That's actually genius. And
I
low,
don't know how
but
much it is though. I don't know if it's
I was
cheap
about
or
to
not.
say about the eggs.
Yeah, I don't know if it's cheap or not.
I'm like, oh heck no.
A lot of
Nah.
people do it though. A lot of people do it.
Yeah, if I was to get married, I'd probably do. If it's cheap, I'll do a low budget thing and focus mostly on the honeymoon. That's where I'd spend the money, the honeymoon instead of the wedding.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. I
Oh
last
my gosh,
episode.
I don't know why.
I don't know what happened. You was about to say
Go
something.
on,
Oh
go
well, I was
on.
gonna say last episode I was gonna announce. I had a special announcement this way, and now I can confirm. Of course, this special announcement comes with the story. So, just bear with me. So about 3 years ago, I was approached to be in an animated movie,
Ooh.
and I said I would do it. And I only got a couple of lines done because around that time I was losing my apartment, so I had like other shit going on. So I kind of forgot all about it because I didn't hear anything afterwards. Because I only did half of the lines I was supposed to do, and then I didn't hear anything afterwards. And then I thought it was dead, so I just kind of forgot about it. A few weeks ago, I got an email saying that it is going through. They needed me to finish my lines, and yeah, so I'm going to be in an animated movie. I finished my lines. So I finished those. I got those into them. Then they asked me for my opinion on the sound in the movie because the entire soundtrack was already edited up. So I gave them some advice on what to do and to change a couple of things to make it more lively. And so a lot of the audio has to be fixed. But it sounds pretty good, actually. It sounds really good. It sounds really good. It's an interesting
That's
movie.
freaking awesome. So when can I view this?
I
When
have no idea yet. I have to redo another line because we came up with an idea that works better. And one other person has to redo their lines because it sounds like they're in a suit of armor. Oh, really? It really does. Every time I was hearing them talk, all I kept thinking was Alphonse from uh
uh uh
um
uh
uh
Alchemist, Full Metal Alchemist.
yeah, Full Metal Alchemist. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's all I could think of every time he was talking because he literally sounded like he was in a suit of armor the entire time. And at one point, they was in an echoey area, and he was talking, so it was an echo on top of an echo. It was really weird. So yeah, those
What if
lines have to be redone or
he had
edited
a
so the
bucket
echo is
on
out.
his head or something?
No, I think it was just the microphone. He was the microphone and open ear because I get an echo sometimes too. I try to mind that when I'm doing voiceovers because I know I'm going to get an echo because I don't have a soundproof room. I'm in a soundproof area and I'm not putting padding all over the place for that. So I just try to be mindful when I'm doing voiceovers like that to be loud enough and expressive enough without pitching an echo.
My
So
God,
yeah, that's happening. I don't know when it's
that
coming out yet, but that is happening. Some of the animation's already done too, because I saw that a while ago.
that's freaking awesome. Can I get a peek? Can you give a peek of the line or non-disclosure? How does that roll?
I mean, I could play a little bit of it, but I have to go searching through what's the name right now, and I don't feel like doing that. Um, my files for the ones I recorded, the lines I recorded.
That's pretty awesome, though.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, we're getting there, getting somewhere. I actually can't wait to see it. I'm not gonna
Me
lie about that.
too.
That's
No,
one of
me,
the reasons why I've been in a good mood today. The other reason is because, well, at least my mood will be good until we get to this. I can't even call it a film.
like,
I don't
I
even know. Honestly, I don't even know how to pronounce this movie.
me, I'm like Nocturne,
I
Noct,
think I'm pronouncing it Nocturne or Nocturne, Nocturne.
and what does that even?
I don't know. I forgot to look it up. I was gonna look it up and then I just completely forgot. That's how
I
much
thought it
I
had something
care.
with owls. Like when I first, I'm like, is this a movie about owls? Like,
Yeah,
interesting.
I don't know. I'm probably gonna pronounce it wrong. The Nocturne. I think it's Nocturne. Yeah, that sounds correct. It's the Nocturne. That's the movie. The Nocturne. But yeah, no, not that. That's not what I'm talking about. I watched for the fourth time, I think, the My Hero Academia Hero Rising movie.
You watched it? Where did you watch it? Do you own it? Is that why you're able to watch it 4 times?
No. I just go to watch anime online.
I used to go on Kiss Anime and they shut that down.
No, I go to watch anime online. And it's on Funimation if you got the Funimation
I ended my subscription and subscribed to
app.
Crunchyroll again. That's some shit. See if I don't sign up again.
See, you should have stuck with that. Although I don't have it.
Dang.
I don't have it. I just use watch anime online. They got everything.
It's like hard to keep up with all the subscriptions because I'm like Funimation was like limited Funimation, but after I ended subscription, they got a partnership with one of the major anime companies. I'm like, fuck. And then I was like, okay, Crunchyroll has the newest and latest. I'm like, they have a pretty good lineup of animes, but I'm still trying to watch that I Hero Academia movie. Like,
Yeah, it just came out on Blu-ray I think 2 weeks ago.
yes, I see it everywhere advertised on my social media sites because it knows what I want.
Cause
It
it's
knows like,
fucking yo, that movie is so damn good. Like
oh
that
my
movie
gosh,
is
compared to the first
so
one.
way better. Way better. You know why? Because this movie was made for fans. When they made this movie, they realized they already had a big enough fan base that they didn't have to bring more people in. So it literally takes place right after the fourth season. So
Oh.
everything from the fourth season is current to this in this movie. So like someone coming in might be a little confused about some of the things because you have to watch the anime. Like they mention certain things like Camino. Like
Mhm.
somebody coming in would have no idea what that meant. But we know because we watched the series. We know what Camino was. That's when they say Bakugo. For those of you, I keep forgetting. Yeah, so there's this anime called, if you don't know already, there's an anime called My Hero Academia, and it's literally the best anime on right now. Like it's better than Dragon Ball Z. It's better than Dragon Ball
It's
series.
like
It's way
she
better. I'm probably gonna
doesn't.
get flack for saying that, but it really is. It's way better than the Dragon Ball series. It's been on for about 4 years now, and they just had the new movie come out on Blu-ray DVD. So that's what I'm talking about right now. And yo, it is so good. There's a whole lot of symbolism in it too.
Really?
About the symbolism is based on the characters in the movie. It's based on All Might, Bakugo, and Deku. So you'll see if you pay attention, you'll see it. But it's so good. It's so good. I don't want to
Okay, that's
spoil
all
it,
I
so I'm
need.
not gonna
That's
say
it. Please
anything. But
don't, because usually I
I'm
don't mind spoilers, but I will mind it for this. I will. No,
the
no.
other thing about this was in the other movie too, and I was talking to my dad about this is because he said, "Oh yeah, and the music is so good." I'm like, "Yeah, because it's the same music from the series. It's the music we're used to. We're used to seeing these images with this music. So yeah, it was good because just to say they didn't put anything new, and that was one of the things about the Broly movie. Like they had that music in there, and it just didn't fit, and it was just like
No, it
it was
didn't.
especially since they kept naming names in the song. All I kept hearing was Broly, 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 go Gita, go Gita, go, and I'm just like, this isn't what this isn't supposed to be in Dragon Ball Super.
I was like, I went to theaters to see that one. I was
I
like,
saw it,
I
yeah,
mean, I was excited, but I'm like, I was a little disappointed. I felt unfulfilled after
a
watching
little
that.
bit, yes, and I realized why I felt a little unfulfilled, and I said to her, I'm not as amped about this movie as I would be because I saw the My Hero Academia movie first. If I had saw the
Uh,
Broly movie first and then saw My Hero Academia movie, I'd have been so amped after that Broly movie. But it's just the writing for My Hero Academia is just so much better.
it's more
It's
sophisticated. Like,
it's just it's not even like more sophisticated. It's just overall storytelling is better. They keep track of their continuity. They remember, they'll go back and look at what they said earlier before they write another scene. That's why it's so good. It's very hard to find holes in the story. There are minor little things you're like, huh? But they're so tiny they don't make a difference. You cannot find a major hole in that series.
that's so true. When do you think they're
With
gonna come
or
out the
without
next year?
suspension of disbelief. They already announced it's going to come out in 2021.
Oh yeah, you're right. I was just reading about that,
Yeah,
and it's so far away.
they announced it when they did season 4 finale. They said it was coming in 2021.
I can't wait. But I've been
I
catching
think
up with
this might
pretty
be the
good
last
animes.
season though.
You think so?
I think so. I think this is I know this
Are
was the
you
last.
saying that because of the movie you
No,
saw?
no, no. I know they said he literally said this is going to be the last movie, but I think this is good. I think they're going to wrap up the series in season 5.
I
That's the
think they
way
could
it's
have went for another
that's
one.
the way it's heading. They might extend it like another 2 seasons, but it's heading like this is heading to. It seemed like when you watched in the series, it seemed like it's heading towards the end.
Gosh,
I
thank you.
know everything has to come to an end at some point. I know what's the name is ending. Attack on
Attack on
Titans. Yeah, it's
Titan,
the last season.
December. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh
they're
yeah.
gonna do it in December.
They announced it, I think, a few days ago.
Oh, okay.
That show right there, that's a mind blower. Like,
It's very confusing.
so confusing
Very
and like,
confusing. You have to watch it 2 or 3 times to really get what's hell is going on.
yeah, like, but it was such good quality stuff. Like,
Although the last season was more straightforward, it was more easy to understand. But the first 2 seasons, you had to watch like 2 or 3 times just to understand what the hell was going on, who was who, because it was so much jammed in there and so much going on. It was just like hard to keep up. The third season was different. The third season was very smooth. I can watch one episode and know exactly what's going on. I didn't have to go back and check stuff. It's like, wait, did I miss something?
yeah, for the first two seasons, definitely. my gosh, to the end. I mean, but they're bringing Bleach back too in the spring.
Yeah, I heard that. I heard that.
I felt that one too. I was like disappointed. The last
Because
arc.
that wasn't the end. That's why. That's why I was disappointing. That wasn't the end.
I think it lost popularity in Japan. That's
Yeah,
why they like.
that's why everything gets cut off. As soon as that popularity drops, bloop, get out of here. That's
Like,
why a
move it
lot of
on,
shows you're like, well, what happened? Nobody knows because it got cut off. Go buy the manga.
right?
That's a lot of people
Gosh,
did for Bleach. They had to go finish it with the manga. I didn't bother.
me neither.
But that was why it was unfulfilled. That wasn't the end. And that wasn't
I
a
was just
great arc either.
no, it wasn't. The only great thing about it was its ending when Ichigo was crying in the rain, and then Rukia and all of them came in deep to see it. That was the best part about it.
Yeah, it wasn't.
The end,
But
point blank.
I guess we'll get our conclusion because they're supposed to pick it up right where they left off.
Oh, dang. Does that mean I have to watch like the last few seasons? No, actually, no. That arc was like literally. I didn't
Yeah,
know. I
that was
wasn't
what
feeling
the
it.
hell were the name of those people?
I don't remember. Remember, it was like the Soul Reaper who was the first like
It
temporary
was
Soul Reaper.
it was a bunch of I think it was a bunch of temporaries who lost their what the hell did they call it? Zanpakutos. And then they became a
Yeah.
different form of something. I forgot what they called themselves. I just remember we had X something, I don't know.
Then what
It
I
wasn't
didn't
great.
like how his friends. Remember, his friends like
I liked
didn't believe him.
the twist was good. The twist was good.
Like Ichigo, you're crazy. What? He's been our friend forever.
Oh
F
yeah,
that
that's
man.
because that guy had that ability. Yeah, it was eh, it was eh. I sat through it. I wasn't completely disappointed because I already knew that that wasn't the end. But I wasn't completely disappointed. But I was just like I wasn't thrilled with it either. I was just like meh.
Meh, indeed. And then I started watching. Well, I don't know when Demon Slayer is gonna come back on. So like,
Uh, from what I heard with Demon Slayer, oh man, this turned into an anime session.
oh, we digress. Like, save it for
Okay,
then.
well
We're
we'll get
digress.
to the movie right after this. So what I heard about Demon Slayer is there's a movie coming out. Now, this is what I heard. I haven't looked it up, so don't quote me on this. But the movie is supposed to be continuing right where they walked off.
Yes, on the train.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I haven't looked it up after I heard this because I always double check to make sure to verify the information is correct, no matter who tells it to me. But I didn't get a chance to check that. So this is what I heard. I actually should check that tomorrow.
Get that release.
And then after the movie, the next season's supposed to start, pick up
Pick
at that
up.
part.
We're not getting it till next year. That movie. It,
Hey,
it came out already in Japan recently.
we were supposed to get My Hero Academia in February.
That's
COVID.
true.
COVID fucks up everything.
Ah, truly.
Okay, speaking of fuck up everything, let's get to this crap. Nocturne. The Nocturne, I should say. Another Blumhouse movie. This is part of the 4 Blumhouse set that was supposed to be done in October. I'm just going to get right into this. I didn't take much notes for this because I was hella confused watching this movie. Like, seriously confused. I had to go back and watch it a second time, and then I was able to figure out what was going on. But I decided not to take that many notes and do most of this from memory, so you, the audience, can feel the confusion I had when I was watching this thing. So if I'm bumbling and you get lost from my bumbling, that is the way I felt watching this thing. So let's see, let's get into it. Ugh. Movie starts out in a hallway with this creepy painting of some kid playing a piano, which you figure obviously is going to have some significance. Turns into this room where you see a girl playing a piano, and the clock strikes 6. The clock, the not
It was
the
a
clock.
violin.
I said piano. I'm
Yes.
sorry, violin. I
Piano's on your mind.
think I've had
Penis.
one too many
A
wines
penis is
already.
on your mind. A penis is on.
A penis is not on my mind. Girl playing a violin when a grandfather clock hits 6. Don't know if it's 6 a.m. or 6 p.m. The only reason I know it's 6 is because of years of living with the grandfather clock. I now have a habit of counting the chimes whenever I hear one. So it was six, either
Mm.
6 a.m. or 6 p.m. She puts down her violin, and we see some carvings on the wall, and then she jumps out a window. Cut to home footage of twin musicians. And at this point, I started noticing a pattern in these Blumhouse films because I've watched all four of them, and only one did not have this home footage thing. And I don't understand why. Like, is this supposed to be like a signature? Because if it is, it's pretty stupid signature, or is this an anthology, and that's why you have all these. But then you have the one that doesn't do it. So I don't know why we had to watch this so soon from movies from the same movie company.
I'm like, does it make it more creepy? Like home movies, like, oh, okay, I'm feeling it. I'm connecting. Okay, they
It's
were.
not even that. It's like every single one of these movies, except for one, had this home footage thing going on. And every single one that had the home footage had some type of family disturbance. So now you're just setting the precedence that of your movies, if you have home footage on them, they're going to have a family disturbance. The one that didn't had a turmoil from outside at the family, but the other ones was family turmoil inside the family. And I'm just like, so now every time I see a Blumhouse movie and I see home footage of happy little family growing up, that means automatically I'm going to think, oh, it's going to be some family turmoil.
Mm.
You did it too many times in a row, is what I'm saying here, Blumhouse. Now you just set a precedence for yourself and you just gave away the main focus of your movie. So, yes, we have two twin musicians named Juliet and Vivian.
Vivian.
They grow up to be, well, not grow up, they grow up to their teens to be sister pianists. Not penises, pianists. Although one of them does start acting like a dick, so I guess penis does count here.
Good point.
We get so then we the sisters now right away you can tell that the sisters are the stereotypical trope of one is happy and bubbly and has everything going for her, and the other one's shy and mopey and depressed and is second best, blah blah blah. That dumb shit. I hate that trope because it's so
Yeah.
unrealistic. Like people who are jealous of somebody, they don't act like they're jealous of them. They smile in their face and are jealous secretly, secretly plotting. They don't act jealous and mope around and look sulky and have no friends. No, that's not how it works.
Yeah.
It
I.
doesn't work that way at all. Because if you're acting that way, someone knows, yeah, that person's jealous. Jealous people don't want you to know that they're jealous. So they put up a front. That's why I hate that trope so much. It's tired, it's old, it's not good storytelling anymore. I'd wish they'd stop. I mean, right away, I knew she was jealous of her because apparently she has everything and you have nothing. That bullshit. So we find out that Vivian was accepted into Juilliard and they go to a music school. No, it
A
wasn't.
boarding school, music school. I'm like fancy pants. I was like, what kind of fancy pants family?
I I'm not. I thought boarding school was like you had to go there. I didn't know. I didn't realize a boarding school could be a luxury. Let's put it that way.
It's for rich people.
I thought it was a punishment for problem children.
Mm.
So yeah, it was no, it was an art school. I know it was an art school because I thought it was a music school. Because when they say these things, they say them in passing or nonchalantly, so it doesn't sink in. So I thought it was a music school, but then I saw some interpretive dance going on at the school, and that's when I figured out. And for a second, I was trying to figure out what's going on. I said, "Oh, it's supposed to be an
Yeah,
art school." I just must have
ditto.
missed that part because they talk like this, and yeah, So yeah, you mean that place over there? And it's like nothing sinks in when these people speak at all.
Not memorable. Yeah.
They mention that the girl who jumped out the window also went to that school. I think this
They're
is
pretty
what
much clowning her suicide. They were laughing at the lunch table about it. Like,
I was. Oh no, this is when the parents were speaking to Juliet. The parent had a because the parents had a see you see how babbling and confused. This is how I felt the entire movie. So the parents is having a party and Juliet comes downstairs And then the parents is talking to them about the schools, and that's how we find out that the girl jumped out the window. What they go to the two girls, Juliet and Vivian, goes to the school, same school as the girl who jumped out a window, which is a boarding art school.
Yeah, and I thought it was kind of weird because I'm like, when she came down to see her mom and dad, you saw how the mom. I didn't even. I thought that was like the mistress or something. How the mom jumped off the dad, like she was doing something naughty. Like, is that not her mama? Like,
I'm not gonna lie, for a second, I kind of thought it was a swingers party. I
I
thought she walked in on a swingers party, and I was like, "The hell's going on with this movie?"
and I'm like, you remember she was calling, and I thought it was weird. She was calling one of her parents' phone or her. I thought it was her dad. She was calling, and they're too busy partying to pick up her call. She could have just walked downstairs. I mean, she
I
did,
don't.
but
Oh, I don't know who she was. I tell you, that's what I'm saying. This movie just it was just like everything was nonchalant. I had no idea who she was calling. I had no idea who she was calling at that point. But everything was so nonchalant. So we go to them going to the school. Yeah, we cut to them going to the school, and we find out that the girl jumped out the window 6 weeks earlier. She was the lead in a concert. What the hell did they call it?
senior concert. It was like it's like a not platform. Pretty much to sum up their 4 years,
No, they called it
what did they
something.
call it?
They called it something. That's what I
Yeah,
said. They called it something specific. Let me see if it's in my notes. Um, yeah, I don't think I wrote it down. No, I didn't write it down. But it
what
was
is the
something specific.
word? You know, a showcase, like a senior type
Yeah,
showcase.
I can't remember, but it was a
Yeah.
concerto. That's what it
Yes.
was. A
Yes.
concerto. Yeah, yeah. It was she was the lead of the concerto. I thought the concerto was an instrument. I was very confused by that too, but that's just my lack of musical knowledge. So yeah, she was the lead in the concerto. Now that lead is open, so they're gonna have open contests. That's when we got to the part when they were mocking the girl jumping, and Juliet was like, "Oh, she was a genius," and everybody looked at her like she was crazy because she's the weird one. Then her and her sister were talking about the contest and switching up her piece because Juliet plays Mozart and she never wins anything with Mozart. And they start making fun of her teacher. And
The
then this,
claw, called him claw.
yeah, he has some disease. And
I
then
think, right.
a book, and then this guy is walking with a box and he drops this book. This book has the same carvings that was on the wall that the suicide girl had put on the wall. So Juliet picks it up. This is after Vivian leaves. Juliet picks it up, opens it, looks, sees the girl's name. Rather than taking it somewhere, saying, there, this belongs to the dead girl, someone dropped it, like, I don't know, the principal's office, a guidance counselor, a teacher. She sticks
Right.
it in her bag and takes it home with her.
She has nothing better to do. Like,
I get it. She needed to get her hands on the book somehow, but you could have thought of a better way.
I mean, she did try to call out, but you could have walked after him. Hey, you dropped this, and you just being a nosy pants and
There's
opened up
about
the book.
50 people she could have given that book to because pretty much almost every teacher has a private, I mean, almost every student has a private teacher, and you have a principal, and you have guidance counselors. So they have at least a 50-person staff, cafeteria people. She could have given that book to, and she didn't.
The book
And
called to
that was
her.
kind of stupid. They should have thought of a better way. I was assuming they were using magic and curses anyway, so I don't know. She could have like bled on the book or something and then gave it to her if it was automatically at a house or something like that.
Dude,
Something.
I thought it was like a cult thing. Like he dropped it on purpose to get her into the cult type thing.
even so, there's 50 people she could have given that book to because it had the dead girl's name in it. It wasn't even like an anonymous book that she found. You could have made the book not have the dead girl's name in it. That would have solved everything. That's the problem. The dead girl's name is in the book. Just scratch that out and it would have been fine. Because then she wouldn't have known anything. She just saw some weird book. Oh, look at this. Oh, there's some music inside. Because there's a musical piece in it, as long with some drawings. That would have solved everything. Not putting the dead girl's name on it. Because then she could have thought it was that guy's, and he didn't hear her, and she didn't know who he was, and just put it in her bag because she couldn't find him again. That would make sense. But having a dead girl's name on it makes no sense because she's in a fool's teachers where the girl went to school.
Nope. As soon as I saw that name, like, nope.
Nope. Um. So then she starts to get jealous of her sister. Well, she starts to show
It starts
jealousy
to
to the
show.
camera, although we already seen it to have to fully show it, and decides she's going to do her sister's piece for the concerto. Yeah, yeah, because she didn't yell at her teacher this time. He just told. He said he wanted. She said to the teacher she wanted to switch it up, and he said no, stick to Mozart. So she just
And
put
then
her.
she was watching her sister creepily. I thought it was just admiration for a moment, but then how she was looking at her, I'm like, oh, nah, she's.
You know what? I'm not surprised she was looking at her like that because earlier they had her sister's playing the piano and she's sitting there turning the pages for her.
Yeah, what was up with that?
Because to keep playing with two hands, someone has to turn the pages for you. But did they have to make it her sister? That's just like demeaning.
Right. I'm like, did your sister ask you to do that? Or like,
I
hey,
mean,
sis,
yeah,
can you
if
be
your
my
sister
page
asks you
turner?
to do it because she trusts you, if you're like, your sister's like, can you do this for me because I trust you to turn at the right time? Fine. But that wasn't established. So now it just looks like, yeah, that you're second best. You're really, which was probably what they went for. But it was just like, it was just so obvious. It's like,
I thought she was going to sabotage her by not turning the page in time. Because she thought she was looking at the teacher like, oh, is he looking? I'm not going to turn it now. Like,
yeah, so she decides to play her same piece her sister's gonna play, but doesn't tell her sister. So she's practicing and she hears the violin, ends up going into the room where the girl killed herself, finds one of the scribbles on the wall that they forgot to clean off, notices that it's the same as on the book, and starts playing the piece that's in the book. Why that
devil's
compelled
drill.
her to play that, I don't know.
The devil.
If I
The
see a
devil's.
symbol on a wall and a symbol on a book that I randomly found, I'm throwing that book in the garbage. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
compelled to stop playing the piece that's in there. But then her sister's teacher comes in and tells her that it's called the
Hotness.
devil's the,
Hotness. Oh my gosh. Don't even. Whoo. Like, whoo. My gosh. Let me not. Like, with the silver streak. Oh my goodness. Oh. But continue.
okay, we now know what her favorite part of the movie was.
Oh my goodness.
How many glasses of wine have you had, Missy?
Just some hot chocolate over here. Ooh. He's
Okay, back to the movie. Hot chocolate over. He hears her play it and tells her it's called the Devil's Trill, and then asks her why she switched her piece. No, he didn't ask her that at that point. He asked if her sister knew she switched her piece, and then he just said good luck. So there's a period scene that comes into play later. That's the only reason why it happened. It's the
bruh.
day, and this is the day of the tryouts. There's
Remember
a
she overslept because she opened the book and started looking at the pictures and had a weird funky dream, and that's why she overslept.
okay.
And then I'm like, she really overreacted with the whole period thing. I'm like, you get your period, okay? You're not spill proof, okay? Wear your, we call it a pussy pillow. Put on your pussy pillow, get it the moving, like take a shower, like keep it moving. Like drama queen.
So that was only in there for a scene that comes later. When I'll get to it when I get to that. And she starts feeling guilty and starts having an anxiety attack. So she goes in the bathroom and takes her medication.
Those her anxiety pills. They didn't even go into that. You think those anxiety pills was because those are just her jealousy pills? Whenever she gets jealous of her sister, she has to pop them.
Jealousy pills. So her jealousy pills. That's a good one.
I'm like, jealous. Pop. Because remember, she started off with one when she left, and then she started taking three at a
Yeah,
time.
yeah. She took three. So then she starts doing her piece, and that's when her sister finds out. And then, yeah, she gets transported to that creepy room with the that
Yeah.
creepy hallway. Only this time it's
That
red with
painting
that
was
creepy painting.
so creepy. Like, I thought it was an albino child person, like, at first. I'm like,
Well, since this is an art school, I had the theory that someone painted that picture that went to that school and killed themselves. Because they keep focusing on that stupid picture,
right? Creepy.
that painting. And I'm so keep saying picture, that stupid painting. They keep focusing. So I had that theory. But anyway, she goes down the hallway. She makes the left into the room where the girl killed herself. But instead, she sees herself a huge star. And then they wake her up, and she's like, "What happened?" They're like, "You passed out." She's like, "How was my piece?" "Oh, you did fine." So then it's the next. Oh yeah, then she goes back to class, and she opens the book, and she notices the picture on the first page looked exactly the way she looked when she took her anxiety pills. Because what happened was when she went to take her anxiety pills, she got a little faint, so she dumped all the stuff out her bag, looked for her anxiety pills, and when she got it, she felt a little faint. She slammed the book down, put her hand on it, and then took three pills. I mean, she put the pills in her hand, then slammed her hand down to steady herself on the book. So she had three pills in one hand, her hand steadied on the book, and it was the same drawing inside the book. Did I explain that correctly?
Yes, certainly
Okay.
did.
If I
And it
lost
just dawned
anybody,
on me.
I was just as lost at that point as well.
Yeah, I didn't catch that until you said. I'm like, oh, that's what those three circle things was.
Yeah, I didn't know. I told you I had to watch this a second time, and there's a reason why I had to watch this a second time, but we'll get to that. So then she has a fight with her instructor because he was mad that she changed the piece. He thinks Vivian is better than her. That's why he's always voting for her over his own
I
student.
feel like that wasn't out. He was calm about it. He's like, but let's move past that. Did you vote for Vivian? Did you vote for her?
I no,
I'm
I
like,
she had a right to ask that because I would want to know if my teacher voted for somebody else because that's my
I
teacher. She's
mean,
supposed to back
she
me up no
kind of
matter
like,
what.
she kind of like passed out, didn't even complete the piece. So technically, he wasn't in the wrong.
Well, I don't know. That's the thing. We don't know when she passed out. They never said. They
They
never said if she
didn't.
passed out in the middle, if she passed out towards the end, if she passed out at the very end. They just said she passed out, and she said, "How was my piece?" And they said, "You did great." So
I feel like that school took
who
that
knows?
very lightly. Her passing out during like a performance. Oh, you're okay. Didn't even take her to the nurse. Like, you're
No,
okay.
they
You're
sent her
good.
to infirmary. They did say that. I told you you didn't hear it
Oh
the
yeah,
first
you're
time,
right.
but I heard it
Oh
the
yeah,
second
you're
time.
right.
I didn't hear it the
When
first
she went
time.
back to class.
Yeah, that was after she went to the nurse's office. I didn't hear it the first time, but I heard it the second time. So they just sent her to the nurse's office. But what were we talking about a second ago?
Oh yeah, the teacher,
The
her
teacher fighting.
asking the teach.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I would. Like I said, I would want to know because my teacher's supposed to have my back no matter what. I want to know if he voted for somebody else. I'd be pissed too. But his attitude was, "You're good enough to be a teacher. That's it. You're never going to be above that." That's why he was kept telling her to stick to Mozart because he in his eyes she was never going to be any more than a teacher. That's as far as she's
or
going to get
yeah,
musically.
are part of an orchestra. Like, you don't think I'll be a star? I mean, he's giving her an honest opinion, but I guess that is like really hurtful. But she came for his top, like she came for him.
Yeah.
You're
Oh,
just a drunk,
that's why this was
crippled
important. Yeah, she like started berating him and he slapped her. I was like, why was that important anyway? I think that's right.
with his good hand. Was it with the bad
It was
hand
the
or
good
the
hand. It was
okay,
the
the
good. It
good
was
hand?
when she started talking about his disease and him being crippled. That's when he slapped her. So he's suspended without pay, and she gets the same teacher as her sister.
Because she personally requests him.
So here is where the period thing comes in because now her sister's pissed. So she puts a bunch of bloody tampons in her mailbox because the students have individual mailboxes.
Let's just pause for a moment. These tampons, about four of them, three, four of them, were stuck far back in her personal cubby, whatever, far back. She dug out for them, and pulled out that bloody fist of tampon, and she marched across campus, climbed up a ladder to the roof of the building to just throw it at her sister. What the hell, Viv?
I thought the whole thing was stupid to begin with.
And
That
like,
that was
wait,
the whole point. The whole point of the period thing was just for that scene. It was just like, really, why?
yeah, like,
And then it says no. Her sister says no. This is good. Now we're even.
what?
Okay.
Where did you get this blood? Did you have that blood
I don't
ordered in?
know.
Because this is
I don't
a
know where that
arts.
came from.
I mean, I guess maybe in the art painting department, maybe they had it. I don't.
I
But that
didn't.
looked like blood. You know,
I didn't
like
know if that was fake blood, real blood. I don't know. I didn't want to think about it. I don't know if she's saving these up over the years, thinking that maybe one day they will come in handy. Did she go around asking girls? Just did not. Did she go around trash? I did not want to know. I did not want to think about it. I just thought this was stupid and pointless, just so she can tell her that she has the same teacher now.
she climbed the ladder with one hand. That right there, I'm like, wow, you can save that for later. This
And like an
conversation.
earlier scene before this, after she stole a piece, her sister says, "Yeah, you now everybody knows you're jealous of me." That didn't make it any better. Sitting there going,
Yeah,
just so she can say, "Yeah, I have your teacher now." That didn't make it any better. No, you still look jealous. So this is what happened after that? Oh yeah, I don't know what happened after that. You know why I don't know what happened after that? Because I fell asleep.
you did first or
This is
second
why I had
time.
to. This is the first time. This is why I had to watch it a second time. I fell asleep. I
That's
literally fell asleep. So I have no idea what happened after that because I
okay.
just
Let me.
continued it where I woke up. And I woke up when she was, oh no, I fell asleep when she was waiting for the instruction. Okay, she was waiting for the instructor, and that's when I fell asleep.
I thought he was gonna stand her up for a moment, and then
I was
that's when
watching
he
her
asked
practice it a
her.
little bit. I think I saw him walk in the room the first time, and then I just passed out. And then when I woke up, I just turned it off. And I turned it back on later, and I continued. And where I continued was where Juliet was getting a text message. So anything between the tampon, waiting for the instructor, and when Juliet was getting a text message, I have no idea what happened. Do you remember anything?
I'm trying to think. You see how it's not okay. So after when she was waiting for the teacher, when he asked her what made you. Well, he was testing her. Oh, hands play the first key, the first note, yada yada yada. I think that's when she started getting into like more into the book, the drawing. Remember like that the senior party? There was a senior party like on the beach where they did
Okay,
ecstasy.
that's later. Yeah, okay. So wait, there was an image in the she saw an image in the book like that.
It was what was the she was looking through the book and practicing, and then she went to bed, and then you see the golden light in her closet, and I'm like, what the hell?
I didn't see. Oh, okay, wait, yes. Okay, so you didn't miss. So I didn't miss much. So yeah, that's when I saw Julia getting a text message because she was sleeping and she got a text message and it woke her up. That's why I continued. And
It
she
was her.
gets up and she walks into the bathroom. Yeah, because there was a golden light coming from the bathroom. So she walks into the bathroom and then she sees the dead girl with half her head missing.
Yeah, that was spooky. Like,
I don't
why did
know.
we have to see half her head missing? Like,
I don't know. The only reason why it didn't catch me is because I knew something was going to happen, and it was kind of like the rest of the movie. It's nonchalant. like she turned it like there wasn't even like a real jump scare. You like she slowly turns and you see her slowly turning and then the girl is slowly turning but half her head is missing and then she smiled. Like it was creepy, but it wasn't like anything that would like shock you because they did it so slow. Like I
Yeah, it's
wasn't
super
surprised,
creepy.
I didn't jump. It was just like, all right, that's kind of creepy looking, but it didn't take me by surprise. So I don't know why they did it that way, but yeah, that's what she sees. And that's when she gets the text message that wakes her up in real life about going to the party
Yeah, and I was confused. I'm like, so her sister's boyfriend texted her? Or like,
because she has no friends.
why didn't her? That's the thing. Her
She
sister's a
has
jerk.
no friends. I told you they did the stupid trope. This girl has everything and this twin doesn't. Not even friends. That's why she
Oh,
went on that
yeah.
whole spew with the teacher when she got in an argument with him about how she's still a virgin and she doesn't hasn't did any drugs, she doesn't drink, and
I thought that was, I mean, I would say loser status. Like, what do you get out of that? You know, most of these artists have lived fulfilling lives. They live life. Remember when her parents' friends were over and she was saying, I don't have social media?
yeah,
Like,
yeah. It's just for the trope of her being the one who has nothing and the other sister having everything. It's just for that stupid trope, and it's just dumb. That's what I was saying earlier. They need to stop doing that. It's not good storytelling anymore. We're smarter now. This isn't 1950.
yeah, like plainly obvious. And then, like, okay, she does some X, I'm
Yeah. So then she
assuming.
goes to the party, and yeah, she did some ecstasy. And then she overhears her sister talking on the phone to some guy saying that she's not sleeping with him anymore. So her sister was
I'm with
cheating on the
Max.
boyfriend this whole time. They didn't show her sister take a phone see a phone number or get a call from a phone
Oh,
number
yeah, that was the first
earlier.
time. You
Yeah.
remember when she saw her sister getting a call that she declined, a
Yeah.
705 number?
So yeah, it was from this guy, whoever this person is. I don't even gonna say guy, just whoever this person is that she was cheating with kept calling. So then she runs into the boyfriend. Juliet runs into the boyfriend after hearing this, and they're having a conversation. And I fell asleep again.
Hmm.
And
So
at that point, I said, fuck it. I'm done. I'm going to do something better with my time, like go watch some paint dry, which is what I did because this was trash and boring. And you're going to have to fill me out on the rest of the movie. Fill me in on the rest of the movie because I have
okay,
no idea what the fuck happened after that.
hilarious. So she's talking to the boyfriend on the cliff, and then she starts saying, "Why do you play music?" And he's like, "For the pussy." And he's like, "Nah, because that's what I always wanted to do." And he was like, "Why do you play music?" She's like, "I'm sure you heard this story." He's like, "I want to hear it from you." Because our parents love classical music. Mom likes fancy vacations. While I'm like, so that was her mom. I was confused because the way that her parents act, they act like, yeah, they're swingers, totally. Um,
I told you when she walked down the stairs, I thought there was a
they're
swinger
being
party going
sus,
on.
like sus just
Like
like
she jumped up real suspect. I thought it was a swingers party she walked in on.
exactly. I did not know that was, and then ended up being a conversation how she's never been kissed. He's like, "What do you mean you never been kissed?" She's like, "I'd like to be." And then at that, lo and behold, her sister's standing behind them. And Mac's like, "Hey, babe." She's like, "That's my fucking sister." He's like, "I didn't do anything." And he deadass did not do anything. They were just talking. She's like, "I heard you." I'm like, he did not say anything. He did not insinuate. Your sister was trying to like, I'd like to be his. You talk to your sister about that. He's like, "I didn't do anything." And then Vivian shoved her sister like kind of like not a hard shove, and then Julia shoved her hard like on the ground type shit, and then ran away. And
wait,
then
wait. Was this like a full? Was this a gallop, a trot, a full-fledged run? If it was a full-fledged one, was it like, oh no, I'm gonna get in trouble? Did she run in like she just killed the girl? Was she running embarrassed, like she had to go cry about it? What do you
that's
mean she
some
ran away?
running, like she just ran off into the cave and then
Was she
the
waving her
golden light.
arms in the air?
She's like, and she's still high and stuff off of the
I
X.
forgot she was still on ecstasy that whole time.
And then she sees a golden light in the cave, and then before she sees the golden light, she hears Max going after Julie. Max like, wait, Vivian, wait. And then you hear them shouting in the background. I've had to put my subtitles on just so I could follow what's going on too. And like you hear them going back and forth, and then Julia falls on the ground and she stops because she sees a golden light. And then the golden light goes away, and then Max is like, where's Vivian? And then she looked onward ahead, and he looked down like the rocky hill slowly. He's like, I'm coming down, I'm coming down. Her sister fell off the damn cliff.
Wait, how did she fall off the cliff?
She like
Because
and
I'm
that's
hella
another thing.
confused right now.
I was
Like,
confused also because
wait,
I did not see her sister run past her. It's like the golden light stopped her from running past off the cliff. And I'm like, I was super duper confused. I'm like,
so wait,
wait.
Vivian was chasing her?
It seemed as if,
Or was she chasing
yeah,
Vivian?
I'll be honest, I don't know.
'Cause
Because all you see is Julia running, and you just see, because like I said, I had the subtitles on. You see Max, at the bottom, Max and Vivian talking like, Vivian's like, Vivian, she's like, Max, don't talk to me. Da, 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 da. And then at the final thing, Max comes back, Julia, did you see your sister? And she just looks forward, didn't say anything. And he finds her, like, she fell off the cliff. I thought she was dead for a moment,
I was gonna say,
but
was she
she
dead?
breathed. Yeah, she breathed. And then that was some fucked up shit. So then Julia ended up wandering back to the her room, and then she wakes up with a whole bunch of notes that she wrote with a Sharpie, like weird symbols, and you see dirt. She trailed in dirt into her room, and she's covered in dirt, and like Sharpie, like she drew in like the eyes of the pictures, like the weird pictures. First off, I already knew this was some devilish thing going on as soon as you see that ram in the horns. I'm like, oh nah, dog. Like she messing with some dark arts nonsense. And next morning,
So wait. Okay, because I got lost again. Juliet was the one covered. I'm yelling. Juliet came covered in mud and started crossing out eyes on what in the book?
she woke up. She was sleeping at her desk. She woke up. She sees that she was like drawing with a Sharpie marker. You see those weird pictures that were in the dead girl's book. She drew a Sharpie markers in the eyes and stuff.
Okay, all right,
Yeah,
okay.
and like she trailed in a whole bunch of dirt in her room. Like she was like digging something or
Oh,
like
that's right, because she
rolling in
was
the
on
dirt.
ecstasy, so she don't know what the hell she did. Okay, gotcha. There we
Right.
go.
So then after she wakes up, she runs to one of her sister's friends who was in the beginning making fun of the dead girl, like asking what happened to her sister after everything. And he's like, we found you, you found us, and we went back to our room. Then the principal's assistant came looking for her, like Julia, the you're needed in the
So
office.
wait, where is Vivian? Did they take her to the hospital?
Vivian's sitting outside the principal's office
Oh, okay. So
with Max. And Vivian's like, they're waiting for you in there. And she's sitting in there, and they ask her, we're trying to get a hold of your parents. Do you know where they could be? And she's like, they're probably somewhere in Europe. So the parents left no form of way of contacting them. I'm like, this is not 1999 or like
I know
cell phones
this
work
is
overseas,
this.
bro. So I'm like, what you got? And clearly you guys have money, so you could afford those overseas charges. Like you left no way for the school to contact you if something were to happen. So they start talking like, oh, your sister and her boyfriend went off campus to enjoy a senior party, and she ended up breaking her arm in two places, and she can't play the piano for 6 months. And yeah, so she
Okay,
can't
wait.
play anymore.
How how high was this cliff?
It wasn't high enough to kill her.
Because I'm
Let's just
picturing
say
like
it was
you
like a
know
beach, like a
I'm
cave in a
picturing
beach.
I'm picturing like the wave cliffs. We got the rocks at the bottom, the waves hit the rocks, and it's like I don't know, like a two-story drop.
It was like a weird. internal cave too. I've never like you don't see often at beaches. It was like it starts like low and it goes up a hill slightly, and then there's rocks at the like it's flat and sandy. It was a weird cave off the rip, point blank. It was
Okay.
weird.
I'm just thinking of Cliff. That's I'm like, wait, how long was this cliff?
Yeah,
She
it
only
wasn't
broke
high
her
enough to
arm.
kill her.
I'm like, wait, she only broke her. How high was this cliff?
I thought she broke her spinal cord the way that she fell. I was like,
So now she can't play the piano for 6 months.
right. And then this conversation continues. Yes, she can't play. So can you take her place in the senior concerto? I'm like, are you serious? Like, you don't have to decide now. She's like, yes, I'll do it. I'll do it. I have finals, but I'll do it. And so after literally right a millisecond after, like, okay, call your sister in. And then that's when they tell the sister, oh yeah, your sister's taking your place in the consento. And so she's super pissed and annoyed. And then Max goes after her. I'm like, that's fucked up. Y'all couldn't even give her a second to
Well,
breathe. What kind of schooling system is this? Like,
if you hadn't have got high and ran off a cliff, you wouldn't be having this problem. That's the thing. If you're gonna get high, don't run off cliffs.
so
Don't get over emotional and don't run off cliffs.
Julia hit up Max like because she started telling him about like the book that she found while they were sitting and talking or some shit. So she brought the book and showed him like this is happening to me, and she showed a picture. This is Vivian falling off of the cliff. This represents Vivian, and he's like, "Don't you think you're kind of portraying what she the other dead girl might have gone through onto yourself?" Let's just like think of this as a logical perspective. She's like, I don't have anyone else to talk to about this but you. And then,
That's what happens when you don't make friends.
right, and before that, she goes to her sister to try to talk to her. And her sister is like, I may not have been the nice sister, but I've always been there for you when you needed me, point blank. And I won't be that person anymore. And she's like, I know you've been cheating on Max. And she's like, what, are you going to tell him? Like, I'm good off of you, her Vivian said. So then she ends up telling Max, oh yeah, there's something else I have to tell you too. So Max breaks up with Vivian in the courtyard while Julia's watching from her window, like just through the curtain. She's watching through the window like a
Like a creep.
creeper. I'm like, so she's getting more deep and heavy into the book and whatnot.
Oh no, I wish I kept. Okay, I went back into it. This is getting
Yeah,
really,
she
really funny.
started,
This is getting
yeah.
funny. If
And
I could follow what the hell's going on, this is pretty funny.
yeah, it's a lot going
Although I'm a
on.
little confused still. But go ahead. What else is going? What happened after that?
And then she ends up back
How long was
in
this
the
movie?
an hour and 30 minutes.
Why does it seem so long?
Right, right. And then I'm trying to remember. And then she ends up back in the room where the girl died. And she sees a vision and she starts crying or something. Oh, she sees how the girl died.
Yeah, so did we. She
So
jumped out a window.
yeah, so she's now she sees how it happened and she's crying. And Max comes in. Hey, the door is open. And she hugs him and he's like, oh, blase, blase. And he's like, yeah, me and Vivian kind of broke up. And she says, good. She was asking, oh, how are you and Vivian? Even though she saw that they broke up. I'm like, what? Oh, she started to be manipulative and conniving. And then she says, good. And they start making out. And they have sex on the floor of that room where the girl died.
That's not creepy.
So I'm like, I already feel a little weird. Of course, I don't.
I already feel a little weird.
And I'm like watching teenagers humping up. I'm like, yo, so that's her first time being kissed, first time having sex. She flips him over to be on top. I'm like, what does she know about that? That was the first thing I said. I'm like, what she know
What
about
does she
that?
know about that? Maybe she's watched a lot of TV.
I mean, I guess. And after he finishes, he's like, oh, this was wrong. This is like completely wrong. This isn't right. And he runs off. She's like, Max,
Well, of
Max.
course they had to throw that in there.
Right. I'm like,
I hate that
so that
shit
was
too.
one of the steps in the book to consummate and
Just
shit.
FYI, I'm pretty sure that 80% of cheaters don't think about this is wrong afterwards. They just pretend like
Technically,
it
he
didn't
didn't
happen.
cheat. Yeah, he didn't cheat. They broke up
And
technically.
technically, they didn't cheat either.
Right. And I'm like, and she set that up just so she could hump him.
In fact, I know quite a few guys who had sisters, and they were not thinking this is wrong. This is wrong.
Oh,
So please stop putting that in movies because it doesn't work that way.
right. And then at a point in time, she's playing the piano and she's playing the piano with the teacher, the hot Asian dude teacher, her sister's old teacher, and the legs on the piano chair snap in two different places and she hits her head on the piano. So she's icing her. He gave her something to ice her head, and he wrote his number down. Like, if you need anything, call me. And she looks at the number. She recognizes it as the guy who was calling her
I
sister.
knew that. I knew that's who it was. I knew it
Yeah,
was him.
totally. I'm like, and she looked. She's like, oh, it's you.
Soon as she was like, "No, I'm with Max. I can't sleep with you anymore." I was like, "It's the teacher.
Yeah,
It's the
totally.
teacher."
And then she's texting Max. Julie's texting Max, hey, where are you? Why are you not answering? Like a fiend. He's not answering back. And then he finally answers, I need time. Like, I need time to myself. She's like, but it's our birthday tomorrow. I'm like, yo, she's fiending for Max. So then she was like to the teacher, it's our birthday tomorrow. Our parents are taking us out to dinner. Do you want to come? I'm like, oh, this shy little girl. So they're at dinner with the parents. The parents have no real interest. They're like, they finally explain like why they let the girls do it. She's like, even though their parents are like, I don't know what they do for a living, but they're like, oh,
Nobody knows what they did for a
only
living.
1% listens to classical music. To the teacher, they're mad rude. They're like, well, what you're doing is kind of like a dying business, and like, that's nice and all you do it, but only 1% listens to it, and your music's just gonna die out anyway, right? In some rich bougie way, rude way to say it. And I'm like, these parents are just sus and just terrible. They're awful parents. Like, I don't. And then he goes off and explains the story behind that violin player who wrote that song for the devil and whatnot.
The
It was an
devil's trail.
interesting, moving story. Yes, it was a moving story. And then he looked at Vivian. He was like, some people deserve to have their music play on. And she got mad, threw the birthday cake at him and a drink at him.
Wait, why?
Right. And then the mom's like, Vivian. Yeah.
Wait, why?
During dinner with the
Wait.
parents.
Huh? He said,
Right.
I'm
Because
sorry.
he's like,
I gotta
some
clean my
people's
ears for
music.
that one. Hold on. Wait, explain that to me again.
So
He
after he,
said some people's music deserves to live on.
yeah, some people deserve to play this music and some people deserve this music. And he just looked at Vivian as he was saying this. I'd be alarmed as, honestly, you couldn't take it no type of way, but she dead ass threw a cake at him and her drink.
I'm thinking you're remembering that wrong because that none of that makes any sense.
So after he tells, because like, the parents try to sun him for his music, that his music is boo boo,
Yeah,
classical music is trash, and they just let the girls do, since they like it so much. But what future do they have doing this? Because they're like, look at you, you went from Moscow to being a school teacher, and that's when he went to the story of the devil's drill, and then at the end of it, he was like, what he was saying, he's like, some people deserve to have their music play on or some shit, and then she dead ass threw a cake at him. I need you to watch that scene again.
yeah.
Cause
I
I
gotta
was
watch
just
because none
so
of that makes
sub
any
dumb. I'm like,
sense.
I was so dumbstruck. I'm like, did she really just do that? Like, you
Like
didn't have to.
that reaction does not match the comment just said.
I'm.
So I just like
I feel
I
like
was like you had to have heard that wrong.
it's something along the story. I was just so shocked that she threw the whole chocolate lava cake at him. It was a whole, not a slice of cake. It was a whole cake at him and the drink and ran off. And her mom's like, Vivian Lowe, you get back here. She ran off, didn't come back. Like, and then the parents, I don't know if they're drunk. They're like, oh, Bill, did you forget the valet ticket? No, I know. I don't know where it is. And the teacher's like, I can take Julia back to school because I live right back to school. Her face lit up like a Christmas tree. Like, And then he dead took her to his house. I'm like, what's about to go on here? I mean, he's hot, so I totally
Statutory
understand.
rape.
I'm like, he's hot. So he's pouring himself a Jack Daniels, if I'm not mistaken, and 2 cups too. I'm like, he's trying to get this little girl drunk.
Getting himself
I'm
ready
like,
for to catch a predator. That's what he's doing.
and I'm like, but her sister's hotter. Like weird. And they sat
But
facing each other.
before I even say that, I don't know what state they live in, so she might be legal for him.
Technically, yeah, she's about to turn 18. Actually, that was her 18th birthday.
Like I said, I don't know what
Yeah,
state
I
they're
think
in.
that was
Each
the
state is
18th
different.
birthday. Yeah, actually. And they're sitting talking, and then she just kisses him. He's like, "What are you doing?" I was actually surprised by his reaction, honestly. I was genuinely shocked. I'm like, "Oh, he didn't want that." I'm like, "Is he playing games right now?" But he's like, "Why are you trying to make me lose my job? Like, I'm not trying to lose my job over making out with a teenager." And she's like, "You were fucking my sister, weren't you?" And he's like, "Ugh, it wasn't. It was within her consent." And she was like, because he was so sad. He got sad all of a sudden. She's like, "You were in love with her, weren't you?" He loved her sister, actually, turns out. And she ended up calling him a has-been, and that she'll never be like him. He's like, "You already missed your shot. You ain't gonna be no one. You ain't gonna be nothing. You think, you, you think I'm a has-been? You're already a has-been," pretty much, he was saying to her. "And you're only what? A teenager. I already reached my peak before you reach this age." So she tried to stun him. So he's like, "You're garbage. You're mundane. You're just regular. Nothing special about you." She's like, "I am special. I am special." So he had like an award back when he was like younger than her. Like it was a conductor's stick. She threw it in the fire. He's like, "You bitch." And he was trying to get it out of the fire. So that was a symbol of one of the pictures in the dead girl's book. So she's preparing for the showcase and stuff.
For a demon book, it hasn't really done shit.
Yeah, she was trying to explain to Max that the book is helping her, is guiding her.
It hasn't
In a
done
sense,
like
it
it hasn't done shit that's evil.
yeah,
Like
that's what I'm saying. It's
like
just
oh
shining a
wow,
light.
she shows her taking drugs. Yay! It
It's
shows her
shown a
sister
light.
fall off a cliff. Okay, but
It
did it
was like
doesn't do
weird.
anything? It more predicts the future than anything else.
Yes, exactly. Max was said that to her, like, "So you think this book tells you the future?" She's like, "No."
What
And he's like, "No,
kind
I
of
think that's what you're trying to say."
bullshit demon book is this? It should be like one note.
Yeah,
You write it in and somebody dies.
like a death note, right? Like,
As a death note. It should be like Death Note. You
yeah,
write
she
it
was
in,
better off
somebody
with the death
dies.
note.
The hell kind of voodoo book is this?
It's a teen angst voodoo for beginning book, okay? It's like an easy soul gathering devil's
A
advocate book,
demon
like
book for dummies.
pretty much. So she's getting ready for the showcase, and her sister comes to her like,
Get the minor spells. The one we peddle to the invalid. Yeah. You get this. Look at you taking pills in the future spell. Yeah, take that. That's all you
like,
can handle.
and she had some big old boobies, like I will say they're like huge. But anyway, so she's in a white dress, like how she envisioned in that vision. And her sister comes in like, "Do you think I don't know what I did to you to make you hate me and be so jealous of me? But I once again," she said, "I've always had your back. I don't understand. You took this." And Max told her everything that happened between them. And she's like, "I'm better than you." Like, so Julia was saying to Vivian, "I'm actually better than you. I deserve this." Like, and Vivian's like, "You know what? Pretty much you'll have nothing at the end of the day because you're she pretty much she's over it. Vivian's like, "I will not have your back anymore. You're riding solo." And yeah, so she goes on stage, and then her parents are there also. When she goes on stage, she runs off crying. Literally, everyone's watching. She sits at the piano, and she freezes. You see Vivian in the crowd who smiles softly. She smiles because she knows her sister ain't shit. Because her sister was so excited saying, "Oh, there's scouts from Julia Arts in the crowd and they're going to
Oh
scout
yeah, I
me
forgot
and
about
not
that
pick
part.
you."
Yeah, I forgot about that stupid scouts. They said there'd be scouts there.
And her sister's like, "Are you dumb? Juilliard is the best art school in the world. They don't need scouts. They're already the best. There's no scouts in the crowd." So I don't know who told you.
Yeah,
So
who said
Julia's
that?
like,
Somebody said
uh.
that.
I think one of her sister's friends, because she
Yeah,
said he's an idiot. He's an idiot. He doesn't know anything.
yeah, he said that. She's like, really? And that's when she got interested in competing.
Yeah, that
All to
ain't
get
shit
into that
gonna
damn
happen.
Juilliards.
And then that's why I felt for her teacher because he's like he told her to apply to other schools. Don't just apply to one school. He told her, which is practical advice. Like,
Hey, millennials.
right. So then she sits at the piano, gets struck, and runs off crying. So she ends up the light from the book ends up guiding her to the top of a building, the top of the roof of the school, right? So she takes a step. So throughout the movie, the sister's friend, he was making a sculpture on campus. And if you notice, Julia was watching him do it throughout the movie.
Nope, didn't see that at all.
Yeah, she was watching him like from
Nope,
corners, different corners, just building it.
nope, didn't notice that at
So
all.
she's on the roof of the building, about to take a step off, and then the light, like the sun, beams in that golden light, and then she's back in the auditorium playing her piece, and at the end of it, everyone's standing ovation. Pretty much her vision came true,
Okay,
and her sister smiles, claps for her,
and she's dead.
and and the principal's like, "You're a star," and
But
she
she's
says,
dead
"Yes,
in real life.
I'm a star." And she jumped. She did end up jumping. She fell on top of the sculpture that she was staring down, and she was still alive. She was just like, you just
Ew.
bloodied up face. And then I'm like, wow. So that little devil's drill, that's like a soul stealing book, like just shows you the light to your death.
I don't know. I told you this movie is very confusing. Just hearing
And
that just confused me. I don't
and
know.
at the end of
I
it,
that was
no one noticed her that she was dead on top of the sculpture. People were getting out of class, like the bell rang, people were walking in front of it, around her. No one noticed her dead on top of it.
like her real life. The movie sucks.
Yep, and that's how it ends. I'm like, wow.
That movie was boring, confusing, slow. From what I just heard, the ending makes no sense. What the point was the point of a devil book? You could have done it without that. This is just dumb.
It was pretty
Devil
much
book that
an
didn't do
easy
shit.
teen angst book. Oh, we also learned how tragic that girl who killed herself. Her mom got into an accident in a ski trip and ended up landing in a coma. Her dad burned the house down with him in it, so she had no one left. So
Oh, that's how
that's what
she.
she killed herself.
I guess the book made all that happen.
Yes,
The
that's what Julia
lamest
speculated.
devil book ever.
Yeah, I'm like, those pictures are just really creepy.
But you see, you know what? At least with that girl, shit happened. Nothing happened here.
That's really true. Oh, and there was a
Nothing
page missing from the
happened.
book. And she figured out the last page was sacrificed. So in a sense, she knew that she was gonna die.
The worst thing that happened.
Oh, she burned the book. She burned the book.
Wow. The worst thing that happened was her sister fell off a mini cliff and broke her arm. Nothing else happened.
Mhm.
Nothing of significance. Worst devil book ever.
It really was. And like it was confusing. I'm like, so it was a golden light. It would have been more creepy if it was a red light, honestly, like
Oh,
and
well,
smoke fog or something.
that's. I'm glad I missed out on the rest of that because that would have just like, oh my God, I'd have hung myself. Like I said, I fell asleep that second time. I woke up. I said, nope, I'm done. That's enough.
Dude, I don't blame you.
I was
Like
not going back a third time. I couldn't do it.
I knew either way she was gonna end up dying some way or form. But it was just so, yeah, it was weird. Super weird.
Actually, I just thought about it. I fell asleep 3 times because I fell asleep at the. I fell asleep. I was like, wait a minute, why did I rewatch it if I fell asleep at the part where the teacher, when she was waiting for the teacher. I fell asleep at that part twice. The second time was when I said, all right, I'm not going to go back. Let me just continue it from where it is. I fell asleep on that part twice. First time I fell asleep, I turned it off and I started watching it over again. Then I fell asleep on it again. And that's when I woke up. I was like, all right, no. Because I was sitting at my desk. I fell asleep at the desk for like, I guess like 5, 15 minutes. I was like, all right, no, I'm not going to rewind it to watch it again. I'm just going to keep going. Then when I fell the third time I fell asleep, I said, that's enough. I turned it off, started watching Misfits. Because at least
Dude,
it
like,
didn't fall. So you ever seen that show, Misfits?
that sounds familiar.
It's a British show. It was on I've talked about this before on the show, but it was on it was a Hulu exclusive. It came out in 2009. It had like 5 seasons. It's pretty good.
5 seasons? Okay, I'm gonna take a look at it, but
Fifth
would be better
season was
than.
kind of like meh, but that was still better than this movie. Like
Mm-hmm.
I think that they didn't. I think that's probably why they got canceled. The fifth season was pretty bad.
Like, that movie was just
I mean,
the
you kept
best
you
part.
kept watching it. I kept watching the episodes just to finish the series. But other than that, if I wasn't for that, I wouldn't have watched it. But I would have watched it over this because this
The
was
best
awful.
part was the movie of was the hot teacher, and he refused to go
I
to the
had no
recital.
best
He
parts
called
of the
in
movie.
sick. He called in sick.
I had absolutely no best parts of this movie. You know what
He
the
was
best part of
hot.
this movie was? I had a nice nap. That was the best part of this movie.
I don't blame you. I was fighting the sleep at some points. I'm like, I want to see where it was going. And I'm
And
like,
I watched
gosh.
another one. The other one I watched from the
Mm-hmm.
Blumhouse, this 4-part Blumhouse series, was called Evil Eye. That movie was boring as shit too. But at least I was able to finish it. I couldn't even finish this.
Dude, I don't blame you. Yeah, you're better off keeping up with current news. Like,
Well, that was the Nocturnum,
I don't even know how to
Nocturne.
pronounce the dang
I know,
movie.
I don't know
Like,
how the Blumhouse movie, the Nocturne. I'm just gonna call it the Nocturne. I don't know how to
they
pronounce it
should
correctly
called
either.
it the Devil's Drill. That would have made more sense.
What amazing! I have no idea what Nocturne means. I'll probably look it up later. I don't feel like doing it right now.
And maybe it means boring teen angst movie.
I don't know. A boring piece of shit's what this was. Ugh. This is why I've been watching My Hero Academia all weekend. something,
I don't blame you.
something to take the taste out of my mouth. Ugh.
Yeah, I'm about to see if I can get something to watch myself. Cause like now revisiting the movie, I'm like, yeah, that was not. Mm-mm.
I want to watch New Mutants, but I can't find a good copy.
My coworker went to go see it in theaters, so it was pretty cool.
I don't know. It's a Fox movie.
True, true,
They have a
true.
track record. And
That's
not a good
very
one.
true. Not
Mm.
a good record. I'm like, and they
I
kept
don't
pushing
think
back
they
that
had
movie.
I don't think they've had a good Marvel movie since Spider-Man 2 cuz Blade 2 wasn't that great. Blade 3 was okay. Spider-Man 3, we all know, it's a terrible movie even though I like it. Yeah, Fantastic 4 was okay. So was the
Wasn't that
second one.
Sony?
No. Oh, wait, Spider-Man was Sony. What am I saying? That's right. So I guess Blade was the last good one.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think the first Blade was the last good one.
You're
Because
hella
they did
right.
X-Men before that. Yeah, they had two successes. Two successes is for good. The rest is just really bad or okay.
And even
X-Men 2
before
was
the,
three successes. X-Men 2 was good.
yeah, X-Men 2 was
So
amazing.
X-Men
3
1,
was like,
X-Men
yeah.
2 was good. Uh Blade, the first Blade was good. Wolverine sucked. Logan was good.
Logan
Logan
was
was really
good.
good. Uh, oh yeah, they did the Deadpool's. All right, so they're 50-50. They're 50-50. As far as mutant movies, yeah, they suck. 1 and 2 were the only good ones. 1, 2, and First Class. The other ones were either
Mm-hmm.
okay or just awful. The worst one was X-Men 3. My God, that was the worst fucking X-Men.
Terrible. Oh my gosh. Horribly disappointing.
Followed by Wolverine. Followed by The Wolverine. Followed by Age of Apocalypse.
That movie could have. Yeah, no.
Age of Apocalypse was awful.
Days of Future Past. That
That
was
was
a good
that was
one
pretty
too.
good. That was pretty good. It wasn't great, but it was pretty good. I had my issues with that, but it was good enough for me to be pleased with it.
That's true. And they left a gaping question. They never even explained why Mystique was the last. Why it took Loki. That cliffhanger, like you just fucked the hope.
Yeah, like I said, there's very few good movies. Four, I think. X-Men, X-Men 2, First Class. Oh no, well, I don't really count Deadpool as a mutant movie, but okay, I guess those count.
Technically, yeah, it
X-Men,
counts. Yeah.
yeah, okay, so now they're 50-50 on that too. Eh, oh, give it a shot. If I can get a good copy. I kind of don't want to pay $20 for something that's trash. Like
That's
I didn't
true.
mind paying for Sonic because it was $5. It's like, oh, Sonic's $5. Oh, if it was trash, I'll get my $5 worth. And I got my $5 worth. So I had no problem with that. $20,
I heard
I'm
they're
like,
coming out of part two.
oh yeah, there's definitely gonna be a part two. It made enough money. It wasn't great. It did get a lot. Oh, it wasn't great the first half. The second half was much better. It's second half makes it worth having a part two.
I didn't even get through to the second half.
Yeah, once they get on the road in the car, that's when it becomes a completely different movie and it gets
How
better.
many?
I actually enjoyed it after that part, but the first half of the movie was just so bad, so
Yeah, it
bad.
wasn't. Mm-mm.
Not as bad as this though. Not as bad as
Oh
the
my gosh, I
Nocturne,
just want.
the Nocturne, the Nocturne.
Uh, that
Okay.
movie. Uh,
Well, that's enough for depressing stuff. Let's. I mean, if you guys want, you can check it out yourselves. But yeah,
yeah,
I
don't
wouldn't.
bother.
If you
If you
have
have like an hour and 30 to kill,
If you
to
have
kill,
problems sleeping, I would put that on. Matter of fact, that's a natural sleep aid for you. Put that on. There's no intrigue, there's no investment, just
that's so true.
randomness, nonchalant rambling. It'll put you right to sleep. All right, so let's see. Well, might as well get into the news because it's getting kind of late. Got to wrap this up. It's been an hour and a half already. So, okay, Robin, what's in the news?
In the news,
You know,
they
I had a
recently.
co-host before you. I was like, "Oh, what's in the news?" He was like, "Words," because I was the one who always read the news. It's nice to have somebody else read the news. I want to be surprised this time.
Tell they actually launched a space shuttle to outer space after what 10 years. Like that's crazy that NASA had to stop their space program because no longer US funding.
Oh shit,
So
I didn't even know
was
about
it
that.
on
I forgot all about NASA. Who who remembers NASA nowadays? I wonder how many kids today know what NASA is.
Isn't that insane?
Because
Like
we all knew growing up. So I wonder how many. Someone should do a survey. Should walk around and ask kids what's NASA, see if they know.
it was actually a third party company that was funding. It's called SpaceX Launch, and they four astronauts take off aboard Dragon is called. So they're running low on astronauts to maintain the space shuttle up there. So they launched four additional. So in total now they have seven. So they're trying to see how to cultivate grow radishes for space sustenance just in case for long journeys in outer space, and also how heart tissue is affected by micro radiation
Yeah,
waves.
I was about to say, why are we still up there? We don't
Yes, they're
do any
testing.
space exploration anymore. Why the hell are we still up there anyway?
There's always a purpose, and this company SpaceX eventually it's going to be like a commercialized thing where to take up tourists up there and stuff.
Well, that might be kind of cool.
That actually would be cool.
But that's going to cost, you know how much that's going to, that can't happen. You know how much that's going to cost? Take tourists up into space. You know how much it costs just to launch a rocket?
Dude, these rich people are blowing money on like the dumbest things. They're totally gonna blow money on a space ride.
Listen, there's no way
That's
you can maintain that as a business. It's not cost effective. Even if you have a bunch of rich people go, it's not cost effective.
Yeah, they're buying up tickets to the Mars.
That's not cost effective. That's not going to work. It costs because it costs too. Think about it. Every time you have to launch, they do this every 10 years for a reason or whatever. Because they don't have money. Because it costs too fucking much. This is like if you're gonna do this, it's like at least 2 or 3 times a year. Even if the rich people are paying for it, that goes right into the rocket. There's no profit really. This is not cost effective. There's no way you can sustain this. No way at all. It's not a sustainable business. That's not gonna work.
You know, it's so weird. Russia, they constantly are sending. The only reason why it took us 10 years, because usually they send people into space more, but Russia is
Yeah,
constantly
because it was
sending
funded.
people into
There's no
space.
money. It
Nope. Yeah,
costs too
NASA
damn
lost
much.
all their funding.
I say even if it's because it's not going to be like a flood of rich people. You're not going to have like 100 rich people. It's going to be like 50 at the most. It's not cost effective. And they're not going to sit there and be on a waiting list for a year or two. Who the fuck's going to sit on a 2 a year or 1 2 waiting list to go into space?
A dying rich man. Oh, and then in Costco, speaking of that, Costco, you could buy a private jet membership for like $17,000, probably pretty much $18,000.
Actually,
So
back to the waiting thing. People did wait 2 or 3 years to go see the Lion King. So I guess
Hamilton,
I
Hamilton
I
alone.
guess people will wait 2 or 3 years for a ticket. I just thought about that. Like, yeah, I remember. Yeah, the Lion King used to be like a 2 3 year waiting list. So yeah, I guess people will pay for that.
Yes, totally see them,
Still
and then
not
a
cost
waiting
effective
list.
though.
Please, they blow money off with trivial things. They'll do it for that.
I'm just saying it's not cost effective. That's not a sustainable business.
You're right. Well, I guess we'll see in the next 10 years. And was it available at Costco, your own private jet membership? So the wholesale retailer is offering its members a 12-month subscription to private jet service, Wheels Up.
What the
Yep, seven.
fuck? The fuck does Costco got to do with private jets? What the fuck?
So, and you know what's included? So they get the membership, but that doesn't cover the flight.
Of course it
So
does. What the fuck does Costco got to do with jet? Private jet? What?
it only includes the right to book the
I'm
flight,
gonna
but
book a
doesn't include
flight.
the
Here's my
cost of the
Costco.
flights
Here's my
themselves.
Costco card. Like what? You know how much this costs? No, but I have a Costco's card. The fuck? Yeah, good
I'm
job
telling
there,
you, people
guys.
got money to blow.
That's gonna work. Good job there. Yo, I just flew on that
Um,
Costco's flight. Yeah. You know about that Costco's flight? Are you on that too? Oh, you can't because it's private. Ha!
Tarate, I'm telling you. In entertainment news, the Fresh Prince reunion is airing, I
I
believe, the 19th
saw the
this week.
commercial for that. These are the people who made us. The people who made me, which is a play off that Netflix series. You know they doing another one of those. Um,
Really?
it's oh shit, I forgot what it was. It's coming around Christmas time. But yeah, it's another something that made us. I forgot what it was. I think it's like the Christmas stories that made us. I think it is. I think it's these are the Christmas stories that made us. I think that's what it's called.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it comes out in December. But yeah, his is called These Are the People Who Made Me. I saw the commercial for that. I actually want to check that out.
Yeah,
I
I will
do and I
definitely
don't
watch that.
because it's gonna make me sad because Uncle Phil's dead.
Right, rest in peace, Uncle Phil. Like,
Yeah,
damn.
it's kind of gonna make me sad, but I do want to see it though. It's not the same
They
with him
even
not being there. Yeah.
nope. But they brought the original Aunt Viv back
Yeah, no,
too for it.
I saw the commercial. Everybody was there. That's why I was like, yeah, it's
So
kind of sad. It's going to be kind of sad if I watch it because he's not there anymore.
I would totally cry. Like, I do look forward to that.
Yeah,
Like,
I definitely want to see that. When's that air?
November 19th on HBO Max, if I'm not
That
mistaken. Let's
is, what is
see.
that? The Friday?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I'm
thought they
guessing it
would
is
have
the
done
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving weekend.
No, Friday's good. I might watch that actually.
Let me double check. Yeah, I saw Fresh
And I actually am going to
Prince.
watch that. Not I might. I am going to watch that.
Yep, November 19th. That's something to look forward to at least. Man, how long has it been? Like,
I don't know. It's been a while. That was 90. Damn, that was 90. Remember anything 94? I think it started in '94. I'm trying to remember where I was living at the time. The first time I saw Fresh Prince.
I'm gonna pull it up now. Fresh Prince.
Yeah, I think that started in '94.
1990. It's older than
90.
me, bro.
Wow. Wow. 1990. I was off by 4 years.
It's 30 years reunion.
That was a good
30
show.
years later.
Who knew?
Nuts,
Everybody look at Will Smith. Who knew?
right? Who would have thought?
I did hear that. Oh, I did want to mention that Alex Trebek from Jeopardy passed away. Like, I think it
Rest
was
in
it last week or the
peace.
week before?
It was last week.
Yeah, sad. I didn't know he was a contestant on Jeopardy who won. That's what I
Really?
heard. That's what I was told. Yeah, he was a contestant who won and he became the host. I didn't fact check this again. I didn't get a chance,
Let's look and see
but
when Jeopardy was. He had tongue cancer, right? Throat and tongue cancer.
I'm not sure. I didn't hear what he died of. I know he's what, 90 something? No, can't be 90.
Yeah, he had he was battling it like he had two type of weird cancers that you don't hear often.
How old was he? I know he wasn't 90 something. Somebody
He
else was
was
90.
80. He was 80 and he was fighting oh, he was Canadian American
Yeah.
for 37 seasons. Man, that's nuts. He was born in 1940.
I'll should look at that. I'll look that up later. Find out if that's true that he was a contestant and they asked him to be a host. And I'll get back to you people and let you know if that was correct information or not. Like I said, this is what I heard. Also got to look up
He
the.
was exactly 80 years old. His yeah, yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking of Sean Connery, who was 90. Okay, that's what I was
John
thinking.
Connor, he died like a few weeks ago, no?
Yeah, like last month, I believe. Yeah, sometime in October. Yeah, he was 90. I think 91 actually.
Yeah, and I posted it on my time, like rest in peace, but like only one other person acknowledged that he died. I'm like, I guess a lot of people my age didn't watch Jeopardy, but I didn't have cable growing up, so that's all I used to watch: Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy.
Hey, a lot of people younger than your age don't watch Jeopardy because they don't understand the questions.
I used to love like actually knowing a question. I didn't know majority of them, but to know an answer on Jeopardy,
Oh, that was a big
felt
thing
like I
back in
made
the
it.
day. Like, yeah, I knew that answer. I was watching it. I was
Right?
just watching it yesterday actually. It happened to be on. What was the category? I was killing in something with sitcoms. I forgot the exact name of the category. It was something with sitcoms. I think there was only one I didn't get, and that was the Andy Griffith one.
I'm like, and I don't think there could be another Jeopardy host, really.
Oh, it can always be.
But who could fill Alex? You know, sometimes he could be so sassy,
You don't fill
but
his
he was
shoes.
so classy with
You
it.
don't fill his shoes. You do your own thing. Look at Steve Harvey.
That's so true.
Just do your own thing. Just like Steve Harvey, I don't think I would take marriage advice from anybody on the game show.
Mm-hmm.
People kill me when they take romantic advice from Steve Harvey. I'm like, why? He's been married 5 times and I'm waiting for number six. I bet on how long it will be before number six.
I think his wife currently, I thought that was such a shisty story. His current wife, I'm like, so you gave your stepdaughter, fully grown stepdaughter, not a child, your last name pretty much for the clout. And that his current wife was married to two drug lords. One, she was married to one, or that was her daughter's father. And then after he went to prison, she ended up with his cousin, who also ended up in prison. Like, you don't see a track record. She was probably an inside man for the FBI or something.
I have not heard this story. I know nothing
Yeah,
about it.
dude. I'm like, whoa. I'm like,
I was not even trying to get into this discussion. It was just a comment about
I don't know.
people
Yeah,
taking advice
yeah.
from Steve Harvey, who's been married 5 times. He
Yeah.
clearly has
So
no
pretty
idea
much
what he's
that's a
doing.
no. Yeah, exactly.
But wow, that turned up a can of worms out of nowhere.
Yeah, I always thought that was such a fascinating, like,
That escalated quickly. We'll
I'm like,
save that
wow.
for another time. I gotta do some research on that. Holy crap! Like
Yeah,
what?
look into it. I was reading, I'm like, whoa. Why don't people talk about this? Probably don't talk about it for a reason.
Oh man. Oh, this is getting up. You got anything else? Because it's getting late. I need my beauty
Nothing
rest.
that comes to mind. Right, I need my beauty sleep. You see these bags? These are mommy bags.
The people can't see you, but I can see you. I'm pretty sure I've had one too many glasses of wine. I'm getting sleepy, and I gotta get up early tomorrow.
Ditto, and I think talking about that movie just
Made
made
me
us even
sleepy.
more
I
sleepy.
know.
Yeah,
I'm tired now. All my energy is zapped. That's what it's like watching that movie. It drains the life out of you.
it really was draining. Oh my gosh.
That, that movie is a succubus.
Not even in a fun way.
Not at all. Oh, plugs. Well, you can catch Cinemastrophe'S Cocktail Hour on any podcast network except for what the hell was the ones we're not on? Uh, you know what? I don't remember the ones we're not on. I don't feel like looking it up. So yeah, just look around. You can find us. Cinemastrophe'S Cocktail Hour. That's Cinemastrope. Cinemastrophe. You can also find my show on YouTube. You put in Cinemastrophe slash Don Perignon, it should pop up. You can follow me on Twitter at Don Perignon77. Uh, don't forget to check out if you're in the New York area, East Coast Street Tacos. You can follow them on East Coast Street Tacos NYC on Instagram, Twitter, or East Coast Street Tacos NYC New York.com. I think that's it. Anything you need to plug?
Um, have a happy week.
Have a happy. Oh, my Twitch. I keep forgetting about my Twitch. You can find me on Twitch under the Doctor underscore 2477. I'm up there every once in a while playing some games. Usually Fortnite, 7 Days to Die, uh, Dead by Daylight. Dead by Daylight, I have a really good time. I love playing as a survivor in Dead by Daylight and being sneaky, watching the killer walk past me 3 or 4 times. It's heart pounding, I'll tell you that much. And it's tense, but it's fun when I outsmart them, so that's always fun. I think that's it for all the plugs. Now watch later on, I remember more plugs. I'm like, damn it, I forgot to do this. Oh, yeah. Rockaway Brewing Co. They were at the farm and they were selling beer over there. They brew their own beer. I had the IPA, which was really, really good. You can find them on Rockaway Boulevard. See, I don't know if they have any restaurants. I don't know if you can rent them on events, but you can catch them and get information about them on rockawaybrewingco.com. The beer is really good. It's really, really good, especially IPA. It's not too harsh, but it has enough bitterness to it. It's almost like a light stout. No, like a light lager. That's what it tastes like. Pretty much like a light lager. It's really good. I had another one too, but I don't remember what it was. I think that's it. I'm getting exhausted. I took a nap
Ditto.
today too, and I'm still exhausted now.
Because that book is trying to suck your life force and feed it to the devil Joe.
Well, it's doing a good job because I'm about to pass out.
Mm-hmm.
Next week, I don't know what I'm doing next week. Anything new besides besides New Mutants? What else came out this year that we didn't get to see
A lot. Oh my gosh.
because of COVID?
We should literally run through that.
I don't know, but we'll figure something out. So I'll see you guys next week. Say goodnight, Robin.
Adios. Good night. Don't let the devil Joe get you.
Why did only one of the co-hosts get this? You're supposed to say goodnight, Robin.
Good night.
It's the old Sonny and Cher routine. It's the old Sonny and Cher bit. Say goodnight, Rob. Good night, Cher. Good night, Cher.
Ah.
Good
Good night, Robin.
night, everybody.